Okay, it is a moment of truth. Were these eyelashes worth it? Are they gonna work? How do they really look on male figures? The time is now. Let us find out. Hola, high fashion dollars. My name is Christopher E. Bienvenidos to Just Christopher TV. In today's video, I am finally, because I feel like I've been dragging this for a bit, reacting, reviewing, and restyling whatever I figure out for that later. The Teddy, I can't pronounce that last name. The box is on the side. That's why you saw me pause. So I'm not going to butcher it. I have one of the male figures, Auden. So I will be checking out what these lashes are giving in person. I have seen some images of some of the other characters. And yeah, no. And let's get into this conversation right now before I unbox this. Or maybe I should get into this conversation while I take him out of the shipper box that he is still in. I'm not sure if I've said this on the channel, but I know I've had this conversation with some like dolly friends. The reason why I don't think personally, I think I did say this on the channel, but I think this is the right time to have this conversation. The reason why I just don't think the lashes work on the male figures in miniatures, it's simply because of the scale of a miniature toy. Now, I feel like the lashes work on the female characters simply because when a woman in real life is getting dressed up for an event, they always add false eyelashes to really make their makeup dramatic. So I feel like on a miniature scale, especially on the dolls that are more glammed, that ends up working. Now, although males, myself, have eyelashes, naturally, it's not something we emphasize when we go out. We're not wearing mascara. Most of us are not wearing mascara. Some do, but even when they do, they're not adding like false eyelashes. So it's not something that you really notice. You know, it's something that kind of just blends in with you. So on a male figure, from what I've seen on images before I take him out, it just seems very obstructive. Like it's just all about these lashes and not about the figure of the male character. So they just have come off as like in the way a little bit. And I've also heard some people saying like, oh, maybe they were purposely super long so people can adjust them and make them the length that they want to. And I'm like, as someone who doesn't like to touch his dolls, like I usually have someone reroute them for me, that whole concept of like they gave them long so I can cut them off, please don't do that for me. I would like you to do it. Like that's not the project I want. So let's see what happens here, because if I don't like it, and I don't think I will, just saying, I will definitely have my friend remove it, because what's the point? Tissue paper off. Okay, so the box is getting very much the same texture as the Toast to a Sadell that I just unboxed. Now, however, the box design is a lot more simple. The FR box usually has that nice framing of the silver. This box has no framing. It does have the designer's logo, Teddy, on it in the front, with New York, which is where his clothing line is based from, and then Integrity Toy. So very simple, very chic, very fashion forward. Now the same design is in the back of the box, and as per usual, the bottom of the box always has like what I like to call the business information, you know, the copyrights and stuff. Yeah, the things that we don't need to know. The logo here for please keep reuse this high quality package to protect the collectible. Oh, that's not what I thought the recycle sign was going to be for. I don't think I've never read that before out loud. I don't think I've ever seen the contents of it either in the back of the box. 12.5 inch 1/6 scale fashion doll, outfit and accessories. This doll cannot stand on alone. Sorry, I was reading too fast. A doll stand is included. Teddy is the name of the clothing is used with permission. The Monarch Ohm color infused and all other related characters, names, likeness, or trademarks of Integrity Toys. Why does it feel like different information? You know, I usually don't read it, but this seems like a lot that I've never... Maybe this has been a new updated situation that I just have not been following up with because I tend to not read the back, and today it stood out. And yeah, definitely did that. I do love the texture of the box. I'm not one that ever thought I would like wallpaper, but if I did like wallpaper, this design, it would be a go for me. Okay. Enough about the box that I'm not going to keep. Although I did consider keeping this box for some projects that I have in my mind that I won't talk about right now. No, I'm not going to do it. Okay. Let's go ahead and lift this. It's giving smooth. It's giving a smooth lift. We like that. We like that a lot. Okay. Oh, wait. Okay, let's see. Ooh. Now this is pretty. I wish at this very moment that I had like a male house. I tend to think this is a very female aesthetic over here because this design of this box is fabulous. It's giving little like, you know when you go to a hotel and they got the little like closet thing on the side? It is giving that and it is fabulous. Let me show you. Shut up. Look at that. Do you see that? Look at how beautiful that presentation is. I have never seen this style of box from Integrity Toys before and it is stunning. Absolutely stunning. Oh, the way that he looks in this box. I'm going to let the coat hang, so please don't mind it. But the black lining on the inside against the black outfit, it's just fabulous. And the texture of this coat. See, this is why I say many could try to come for Integrity Toys. But you're going to have to put a lot of work and a lot of time to reach this level. Let me just put it like that. And while we are here, because obviously we're never going to see this box again, let me go ahead and let me move a little. Let's go ahead and do this like that. See the little tab right there? You can just pull it, right? Oh, that is so satisfying. It's giving like school locker with shelves inside. And then it's giving like bottom storage for your shoes. Which ironically enough are in the bottom. The way I do not want to throw this out. Don't store, Christopher. Don't be a hoarder. Don't be a hoarder. Don't be a hoarder. My brain right now is on creative overload with things I don't need to be thinking about. I don't need to be thinking about this because I don't need to think about hoarding things that I'm not going to work on anytime soon. Okay. We're gonna let that go. Whew. Okay. If you are new around here, please hit the hype button to help this video reach new audiences. Yes, I threw that in there at a very random time because it's not what I was going to say, but it is what came out of me naturally. So we're just gonna roll with it, okay? What I was going to say was, if you are new around these parts, let me explain something for you, okay? I like to unbox my figures off camera, have a little bonding moment when the figure comes back and you see them next. You could tell I'm filming this video in daytime and we are going to work through all of the challenges, okay? Back to what I was stating. You're going to see him as he was intended with all of his accessories. Then we're going to look at all his items individually and in detail. And last but not least, my favorite section, the restyle, which as of this very moment, I have no clue what I'm doing. I know that whatever it is has to have color. I need to see him outside of black, obviously. So, are you ready? Did you grab a snack before I started this? Because if not, I would say this is probably the best time to grab a snack. Let's get into the rest of this video, shall we? As standard with any Integrity Toys purchase, we have our certificate of authenticity. Here we see that the edition size for this male figure was 900 and I got number 607. So it's right down the middle. We like that number. It's like not too early, not too late. You know, if you get it, you get it. As well as our doll stand. As we see here, the base is black with our logo from our collaborator, which is Teddy, and his like New York situation there. I do have to say, we haven't seen a male figure since like earlier this year. I do not like this underarm stand, which is not trying to focus. Let me press on this right here. There we go. The reason is, especially for like Auden, he has this massive overcoat. This never really sits under his arms, or then I would have to like put the coat over the stand. It's just not the most feasible, flexible thing to pose a doll with, or I should say a male figure. So I would really like to see the male figure start getting the like saddle. I believe that's what we call the girl one, just because it allows them to stand and be supported, as well as being able to pose them on the stand. Like a lot of these guys always come with a coat, and this never really fits well while they're wearing a coat. So Integrity, if you're listening, can we start giving the guys a side saddle or just a saddle stand? I don't know why I said side saddle. Not like they're riding a horse. This male figure came with two sets of hands. We have our posing hands, as we see here, as well as our holding hands, which he was actually wearing while he was in the box. This male figure also has a set of painted glove hands, and the glove hands are different than the original hands. Although you see those lines there, you get to see like that illusion of a seam through the fingers. So I love a good glove detail. Hence why I'm never a fan of the mesh glove with the girls. I'm kind of just like, just give me this. It's just, I'm someone that restyles. Make it easy for me, please. For accessories, we have a lot of them in this set. First off, we're going to start off with our black glasses. They don't appear to be sunglasses per se, because the tint of them is pretty light, but I did bend them just so they can sit on his face a little bit better. Unfortunately, sometimes when they come straight out of the box, they're like very straight and narrow, and they like always slide off. So I find that if you bend them just a little bit right here in the bridge of the nose, it helps to kind of curve to the face and sit on the figure a little bit better. So yeah, here are our sunglasses. Pretty simple, straightforward, clean design. For jewelry, we have two bracelets. One is silver and one is matte black. Love that we get this black one just because we usually don't see a lot of color with the male accessories. So love that we're seeing something a little different. Same mold, different colors. We have a chain link watch, as we see here. We have a chain for his pants. Interestingly enough, in the promo shots, you barely see this chain being used. It is in one of the shots, but it's like barely there. That's something that I've realized with the next item I'm going to show you, that the accessories weren't really shown off that well in the promo shots of the figure wearing them. They were in the layout photo at the end, but in all of the shots of the figure wearing the outfit, I don't know why that was taking so long to say, a lot of the details just aren't shown, and it threw me off a little bit when I was dressing him as he was intended. Like this item, it is a double chain necklace. At least that's what it says in the description of the doll. It was never photographed on the doll male figure in the promo shots, but it is in the last shot with all the accessories. Now, I was confused. Next up for the accessories, we have his clutch. I'm just gonna call it a clutch actually. It is a envelope clutch, we're gonna call it. The material used here is very soft, very smooth. Love that. What I did just notice before I filmed is that it doesn't look like it's intended to be open. Now, some people might be bothered by that. Personally, I am not. I have come to notice in the years of collecting that I've really never put anything in the bags. So although the idea of opening it sounds lovely, if it's not something like maybe the mini brands bag that's back there where like it's just you could drop something in, I'm okay with it not needing to open. So in a design like this where it just makes more sense to be folded at all times, personally I'm okay with it. So I love that this bag does not open, and I really love the sleekness and the materials that were used because I think it's going to be so great to restyle and add honestly as a prop to many restyles in the future. This male figure does come with a pair of black socks. Yes, everything here was black except for the jewelry that was silver. And I don't mind. As the New Yorker, it was like coming home. Very comforting for us, the color black. Here we have our shoes, which are a pair of sneakers. And I have to say, although this guy has a lot of standout pieces, the sneakers in this collection were my absolute favorite. Again, New Yorker here, I hate shoes with white soles because, well, in New York, they just don't survive. So I love that this designer really kind of gave us more of that like sand beige with the black sneaker because it just made it feel so much more realistic for me. I also love that the fabric here is a little textured, kind of giving some animal skin appeal to it. And the painted details on the soles just really take it to the next elevated level that Integrity Toys always gives us. You know, it's luxury all the way. It really is. I know the shoelaces are crazy, but that's because obviously I just took it off him. But yeah, love, love, love these sneakers. They were pretty smooth to put on, I have to say. Can't wait to restyle these in the future. Now we are going to move on to the items of clothing. And I'm going to kind of start from, I'm going to say the inside out. Okay. Here is the vest that he is wearing under his blazer. It is this very like nice charcoal color. So it kind of breaks up the black and kind of gives it a really like warm base underneath all this black. Something that I did find interesting about this vest, however, it has no closures. So this item must be slide on and slide off. Why does that feel wrong? Slide on, slide off. I feel like I just said the same thing, but that felt better. Anyways, listen, this is why we love that our dolls can kind of be broken into pieces. Because once you remove the arms, it's really easy to slide this off. So I kind of like that it doesn't have any hooks because this material is pretty stretchy and it just kind of gives it a more, I don't know, realistic look to it. I really love this item, honestly. I'm a little sad that they didn't photograph this item without the blazer to really show it off because it looks really good with the slacks on, but hey, no here, no there. That moment has passed. Next up, we have the trousers in this set. And oh, what a beautiful set of trousers they are. As you see, there is a belt that is included with this fashion set. I left the belt on just simply because it's easier down the road for restyles. You see that the trousers have a zipper in the front. We have 2 pockets on the side. They're pretty far back. I noticed when I was trying to pose my doll. Not really sure about that. And they're also kind of short, if you see. Yeah. I don't know who made the pattern for these trousers, but this pocket in the front is a little odd. As you see, we have a pleated trouser in the front. We have some faux pockets in the back. I say faux because they're probably stitched up. And something I wish that the people at home could feel, yes, feel, is the material used for this fabulous trouser. Now, funny enough, although a lot of the accessories were black, the suit is actually more gray. Now that we've taken the coat off and it's not accessorized with everything else, it's more of a charcoal gray, similar to the vest, which again, it's a great way to have this like overall dark look without completely being drowned in black. It's like we're playing with the tones of the dark shades, and that's absolutely fabulous. But the reason why I wish people could feel the fabric at home is because it's made out of a really nice, like, wool texture. It's giving very real life suit is really the best way I could put it. So once again, fabric choices here, always top notch. And this trouser shows us that. Now let's take a look at the matching blazer for our trousers. As you see, we have two faux buttons in the front. Right underneath the buttons, we have some hooks, as it's a hook closure for this blazer. We have the pockets in the bottom, as well as our pocket in the top. We have our IT logo in the inside. And look at this artwork. Yes, I said artwork. To make this lining with all these panels on a miniature scale is truly art. If you didn't know, you know now. Because this is hard. If you've tried, you will know. It is hard. Now we have a beautiful middle seam in the back of the blazer. We have a little bit of an opening there. And we have faux buttons on our wrist or cuffs, whatever you want to identify that as. Once again, it's made out of the same fabric as the trousers, and it's just absolutely stunning. As you see here, not on the figure, the blazer has a little bit of a shape. It's kind of going in on the waist. So, I love miniature clothing. I really do. It's just art at its finest. Now, for the final item of clothing. And I know I've used the word art a lot, literally just in the item of clothing before this one. But if you were to touch this that I'm about to show you, there's no other way to describe it but art. I'm sorry that I've used this so often, but look, it has me stuttering. Look at this. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. I personally thought, based on the promo photos, that this was like a textured leather, is what I thought. Mind you, I meant mind you, take into consideration, please, I did watch the presentation for these dolls. And at no time do I recall it ever being said to me that this was actually a wicker material. This isn't fabric. This isn't leather. This is like a textured wicker. So I will not be using this very often because it is delicate. Straight out of the box, there were some like little, oh, you can see one right there. There were like a few pieces of the thread that were coming off. And listen, I'm not mad at that now that I know what material it is, because it is very, very sensitive. So this should be framed, because what in the world? Wicker? Okay, I'm gonna move on. We have two pockets in the front. We see that the design of this overcoat was intended to be like a double-breasted, as we see buttons on both sides. The coat does have hooks on the inside for closures. We have some little loops there. We have an extra button there. Beautiful lining in the inside, as we saw with our blazer. IT little tag there. We have some faux buttons on the cuff here. And due to the material that it's used, this middle seam is not like that. It's a beautiful middle seam. What I'm trying to say is, because of the wicker material, this puckers up a bit. There's really nothing you could do about that. I would actually be afraid to steam this, because I feel like you would lose. Look at that. Look at that. I mean, you could see that too. But again, with the material that was used on this scale, those little threads standing out, it's not an imperfection. It's just reality of what's being done here. But look at that. That's beautiful. Just beautiful. And this looks like a gunmetal silver, but I think, we get real close. It is just black. It just has a shine to it, which kind of gives it a different color and effect. It comes off more silver than anything because of the lighting, but it really is just black. But yeah, this is art. This should be framed. You know what? I might do it one day. I might frame this because it's just absolutely amazing. And I'm back. Okay, this section for this video is going to be pretty short. There's just a few things that I kind of wanted to show you before I went into my restyle. First and foremost, here's our male figure. He actually, something else I did not notice from the promo shots, has 3 piercings. So he has these circular hoop earrings. Well, let's call them circular. Let's not call them hoops. He has this design as well as a stud. So there's 2 piercings on this side, 1 piercing on that side. As you see up close, out of the 3, I feel like his eyelashes suit him the best. It's just really weird to say. I have not seen the other 2 in person. This is just based on photos that I've seen on the other 2. Before I had unboxed him, I did feel like his eyelashes, again, somehow suited him the best than the other 2 screenings. Not really sure. I am getting them removed though. It's just not a thing for me. Something else I wanted to point out while we were here. Let me show him to you facing forward, I should say again. The hair. So as I was going through the promo shots recently, again, I realized, and mind you, there is always a small fine print that says these are prototypes. Doll will look different when shipped. Well, this is one of those moments. In the promo shot, which I'm going to go ahead and insert over here somewhere. I know I'm centered, so I'm going to try to put it there. He has like a side part and like the hair is moved around. Now, I have not played with the hair yet, and it doesn't seem like he has that much gel on it. So if I wet it, I don't think I'm going to achieve that look. I might achieve a look, but I don't know if it's going to be that look. I also told a friend while I was unboxing him that, you know, I didn't say this to the friend, but now that I'm looking at him from this angle, it's giving that alien Monster High doll that Mattel just released. His head is giving that shape with his hair. I feel like we could lose some plugs from here. Just keep the front really long and maybe bring this down just a bit. It's really high right there. So he's gonna go through a slight customization, but nothing drastic. As he is, I really love. It's just the hair, it needs to be played with. You know, the tools to play are there. So that's okay. Second thing, I mentioned the necklace, right? I wanted to show you, if I can, because I obviously need both of my hands for this, that it just doesn't connect where the circular part for the hook is. Like, it's almost there, but it's not there. And if it was there, it's giving choker. Where I was like, I'm not mad at the extra chain necklace. He's just not going to be wearing it because it's just weird, honestly. And his neck is just too wide for that. Like, the measurements they weren't done right for that. Yeah, the amount of gel is not a lot because there's a lot of movement back here, which again is fine. So while we're here, I guess, or should I wet your hair first before I restyle you? Thoughts. I'm not going to play with hair. I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to go ahead and put him in the restyle that I decided on. It's giving very fall colors. I think I am going to keep his black sneakers and his chain for the trousers. And I might keep all the jewelry is what I'm leaning towards. Obviously not the necklace. Yeah, and then I kept my accessories out over here. I might give him a bag. That's what I'm feeling. All right. You know what? Let me get him ready and let's just head to the fashion show, shall we?